Hey everyone, my name is Ray and I'm out here by the San Antonio River. There's a lot more life here than there was the last time I was here. I'm actually watching a cardinal in front of me on the other side of the river, and just a while ago I had a peculiar thing happen. There's a branch, there's a tree actually behind me, and somewhere there, I think you can see it in the frame now. See the tree that's hanging over the river? So when I walked down here initially, there was a red-tailed hawk that was hanging out on this side of the river, and then as I walked into the area where the hawk was, it flew into that tree that I just showed you a while ago, and I just picked a spot to sit down for a while and just kind of see what else happened. And there were some pecans that had fallen off of the trees here, and I picked them up just to see, what they would be like. And I used the pecans themselves to crack open the other pecan. Or in other words, the point is I had two pecans in my hand and I just basically crushed them together to crack the shell of the first pecan and so forth. And they were pretty good. Anyway, while I've been sitting here, the branch that the hawk was on fell off the tree. I looked to my left as I heard a kind of a noise, and it turns out that the branch that the hawk had chosen had fallen off the tree, and the hawk it had enough altitude that it was able to take flight and fly up the river here to a branch that was even closer to me. So I got one picture. It's just an iPhone picture zoomed in to the max, so it's not going to be like award-winning artistry or anything like that. But I got to see the hawk right up here in this tree in front of me, and the hawk was being taunted by a little bird that the hawk easily probably could have taken if it wanted to, but the bird was just trying to drive it out of its territory. And sure enough, the hawk relented and flew a little bit further up the way. I can still see it if I look closely enough at the trees across the way. Anyway, point is that I'm out here in nature and I'm by a river, which is, as we all know it, formed of water and formed and forged by water. The artery that this water is cutting through is, or I should say, is passing through, that the land is generously accepting, is nurturing all of the life that we see around us. And you can see I'm looking around a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on. There were a couple of squirrels that were chasing each other across the way. There were cardinals that were landing in this debris that's in front of me. I'll show you the debris. I'll even try to zoom in. I guess you can't zoom in on this side. I don't know how much of that debris you saw. There's basically some branches in the middle of the river and plastic bottles that are on it and stuff. And across the way there's something there too. Some kind of a big yellow object. I don't know what kind of container that is or packaging it is, but despite all of the rubbish that has come from mankind, the river continues to water and nurture the land that welcomes the water passing through this area. And it even has enough energy left over to grow some really majestic Texas pecans that I got to enjoy. So on today's day six of wellness and conservation, or health and wealth, or whatever we want to call this series of episodes, I just wanted to bring you a little bit of a glimpse of the things that I try to experience in real life. This isn't something that I'm seeing on TV. This isn't something that I'm just absent-mindedly walking into and ambling into. I have a full awareness that this is a shared environment, that I'm just gracious to have the opportunity to see. And I'm ever so grateful to have seen so much wildlife in such a short amount of time. So I'm thankful. So that's one of the things that we can capitalize on and focus on when it comes to health and wellness and conservation, is that if we're grateful for something, we're going to want to nurture it and enjoy it, participate in it, and know more about. And education is the key. Once we give up that natural curiosity of learning and evolving, I think that's about when we stop caring for certain things, and we can educate ourselves about ourselves in different ways. One of the topics I want to bring up is trying something different. If you've not sat by a river in a long time, maybe try that. If it's a little more difficult where you're at to get out and about, one other weird thing that I recently learned that we can do to encourage a different hemisphere of our brain, a different amount of engagement in our brain, is to do something different, as simple as if you chew your food regularly on one side of your mouth, try doing it on the other side with full focus for the whole meal, maybe a few times in a row while you're doing whatever else it is that you normally do while you're experiencing this meal. It could introduce a meditative quality to your life that you might not have anticipated. So be careful. Your results may vary, but they may in fact impress you enough to decide to get down to your local source of nature so that you can be inspired by whatever floats by in the current to be shown to you. Don't forget to enjoy the snacks that come naturally to the area that you're in, whether that be a mom and pop shop where people are making fresh meals for you from whatever the best resources are in your area, or whether it be some beautiful Texas pecans like I'm able to experience in the area that I'm at. Have a great day. Health is wealth. Be sure to invest wisely, and I encourage you, if you haven't already, to click on subscribe so that you can see some future clips that might inspire you just as much as some of these clips here have inspired me to look beneath the surface and to do things that help me to come closer and closer to becoming my best version of myself. Have a great day. Peace.